Hey guys, so today I'm gonna tell you on my 16 and pregnant slash labor experience that I personally went through. It wasn't the best time of my life, but yeah, it wasn't like the worst. It was just a stormy time for me. So it all started when I was a sophomore in high school. I was 16. I just turned 16, and I was in the dance team at my school. And I was having the time of my life in dance, and that was my passion. That still is my passion to this day. So it was a good couple of months till I met my daughter's dad. Me and him, we started going out. We started talking, and then we eventually started going out, and one thing led to another, and that happened. Around late January, I found out I was actually pregnant, and I was pretty freaking scared. I just wanted to take a pregnancy test just because I knew that I did that, and just take a little bit more precaution, I guess you could say so. I actually told him if he could buy me a pregnancy test because I just wanted to take my pregnancy test. I was my period was irregular, so it's not like I knew like, oh, I missed my month. Like, it was irregular, so if I missed it, it was kind of normal. But yeah, I told him to buy me one, and he bought me one. The next day, he took it to school. He gave it to me in the morning before first period and all. First period, I went to the bathroom. I took the test, and it came out positive. Well, it was like 2 lines, and one of them was like really, really, really light. But it was still like a positive. Like, you could see it. So I was just like, okay, this is not happening right now. This cannot happen to me right now. Like, I'm so stupid. Second period, I took the other one, and it came out positive, and that was like a for sure positive. Like, that was like, girl, you are. And I was just like, okay. So I ended up telling like my boyfriend at the time, my baby's dad, that it came out positive, and he told me that everything was gonna be fine, and we were gonna get through it, and whatever. I was scared. I was really freaking scared. I was scared of my oldest sister. I was scared of telling my parents. I was scared of my dance teacher because she didn't allow that. I didn't want to have her in the beginning. It breaks my heart to actually come out and say this. But in the beginning, I didn't want to go through with it. I wanted an abortion. I was scared. I was 16. I was scared. That was my reaction, is I'm not having this baby. So he made me feel a little bit more better, and he told me that he was going to stay through with it, and we were going to get through this together, and da 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 da. So I believed him. About almost a month went by, and I was supposed to go to his house one day, and my mom didn't want me to go for some odd reason. Like, she didn't want to take me, and I was so mad. I was crying so much I fell asleep. So I took like a nap. I woke up from the nap, and I got a text from him saying that it's not gonna work out. And I was just like, a couple of hours ago it was fine. Like, how did this happen? So then I automatically knew like there was someone on the side. Like, he found someone new. So I knew that he found someone new. I just had a feeling, and I was telling him, I'm like, I know there's someone, like, this can be it. I was just really, 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 really sad. And I got depressed, and I was telling him, like, how can't you do this? Like, you know our situation right now. Like, he knew I was pregnant. Like, how do you do that? Well, after we broke up, he started telling me that we were too young to have this baby, and I was already like maybe 3 months, and I still haven't told my parents, no one in my family. So I was like, how, like, what the hell? Like, why are you saying this now? Like, you didn't say this last month, or 2 months ago, or whatever, whenever it was. I don't remember now, but he was just, he made me feel like complete poop. I ended up finding out that his girlfriend actually didn't know that I was pregnant. That's why he was telling me that I couldn't have it, and we were still too young to actually go on through with it. And about a couple weeks later, she ended up calling me, and she asked me if there's something that I wanted to tell her and that she should know or something like that. And I was just like, oh shit, like, does she know? Like, did she find out? Like, I didn't want her to be involved in it. Like, it's not her problem, you know. Well, I ended up telling her, and she asked me if I could go to her house. My mom didn't want me to go, but she ended up taking me. And when I got there, she was actually on the phone with him, and she was telling him, like, you knew that you had this family, like, going on. You should go back, and, you know, like, you should go back with her and be with your family. Like, you're gonna have a baby, and whatever. Like, she was just trying to convince him to get back with me. And he was saying no, that he wanted to be with her. And just hearing that, like, broke my heart at the time. But I was just trying to stay strong. Yeah. So a lot went on between me and that girl. And between my pregnancy, I actually ended up going through depression. Every night I would literally cry my ass off every night. And it was a pretty hard time because I didn't have anyone for a while. Like, I didn't have my mom. Like, I didn't tell my mom till I was probably almost 4 months. So during that time, it just felt like a very long time that no one knew. No one in my family knew. I had no support. Like, it was just hard for me. I eventually ended up telling my mom. I told her through Facebook. She was right next to me, but she was on Facebook. I was on my phone, and I ended up sending her a message, and I told her that, I don't remember exactly, but something about that I took a test and it came out positive for something. And she told me, she looked at me and she was like, what test? What came out positive? Like, she got so mad. And we're Mexican over here, so she went off on me. And I felt really bad. Honestly, I felt like I let her down. I let everyone in my family down. I am the youngest sibling, so I felt like I messed it up. I messed everything up. I felt like I just ruined everything. And my mom asked me that night. She was like, okay, when she calmed down, she asked me what I wanted to do. And I told her that I didn't want to have it. And that I was scared and I'm not even with him, so what's the point, you know? So she told me that she's with me through whatever decision that I would want to make, and that she'll just be by my side. And for the first time, which felt in a very long time for me, I had a support system that I could go to, which was my mom, and I was really happy for that. But it was just my mom that knew. It was still a secret from the rest of the world. A day or two after, she went with me to the doctors, and we went for as like an abortion type of appointment. They sent me to this other hospital place to get an ultrasound, and before I went into that ultrasound, I actually prayed. I pretty much was like, God, help me on this decision that I'm about to make, because I don't know what I'm going to do. Help me know the reason of why I got pregnant, because I don't know what I'm doing right now. I don't know what I'm doing. You know, just help me, guide me through this. So after that, actually, we went in and I got an ultrasound, and the nurse asked me if I wanted to hear the heartbeat. I didn't know anything about babies at the time, and I was just like, I looked at the nurse and I was like, it has a heartbeat? Like, how, what the hell? Like, how many weeks am I? Like, what the heck? Like, is this thing already gonna be born? Well, it had a little heartbeat and I heard it, and at that moment I knew that God answered my prayers, and he told me that I had to keep this baby, because I couldn't do that to an innocent child. Like, I couldn't. Just hearing the heartbeat made me realize like so much, and everything I was eventually gonna miss out on. So I'm gonna cry. So when I got out, I eventually told my mom I wasn't gonna go through with the abortion, and I was gonna keep it whether I'm with the dad or not. And she told me, she's like, Mija, I'm with you in whatever decision you want to make. I felt so relieved at that time. That day, it was just a big weight just taken off my shoulders, knowing what I was going to do with my life, knowing for the first time in a long time what I wanted to do. Then came the time where I had to face my family, and I was really, really scared to tell my oldest sister. I was really scared. I think she eventually just found out. I couldn't tell her. She found out from my middle sister. I'm not sure, but I couldn't personally tell her until when I talked to her, and she asked me if it was true. I told my dad too, and he took it the way different way that I, like a totally different way I expected in my head. But yeah, he made it like all religious, and he was like, God sent you a baby for a reason. I'm so thankful you didn't go through with the abortion, and yeah, all that. So I had that support for a little while. My dad like gets his periods and he just like stops talking to you. But it was fine for a little bit, and then out of nowhere during my pregnancy I lost my sister, and then my other sister, and then my dad, and then I was just left with my mom. Oh, and you had my mom and her support. I didn't even have my baby's dad's support. He was an ass. I would see him at school every day, and he'll make me feel like shit every day. It was horrible. It was horrible. Like, I was like 6 months pregnant, and I remember always begging him every day, um, that if we could please just get back and work this out for the sake of our baby, for us. Like, I wanted to be a family, and he would tell me no, and he'll disrespect me in front of so many people. There was this one time that we were going to, it was like passing period, and I was trying to talk to him, and he told me, like literally in front of everyone there, he told me, he's like, get the fuck away from me. You ruined everything. You ruined my life. You ruined everything. And I'm just standing there like in shock. Like, I have your kid. Everyone around here knows I have your kid. Like, how I don't know. It was just a really sad time for me. That's why I went through depression, because I pretty much lost everyone. Yeah. And my 17th birthday came around. Sad that day. My mom's friend came and dropped off balloons and cake for me. And it was just me and my mom in my room celebrating my 17th birthday all by ourselves. Around this time, around August, I actually started talking to this guy. We actually had like a thing going on when I was a freshman, but when I was a junior or becoming a junior, I actually started talking to this guy, and he made me feel like everything was gonna change for me, and he made me feel safe, and he made me feel like I was loved again. And he was just awesome. I was like 8 months pregnant when we started talking, probably like 7.5 months or so. But he's always just really liked me, and I took him for granted the first time we ever talked. But he came around again, and it was like the best feeling in the world to have that, especially because I've been feeling so lonely for so long. And because of him, I stopped crying every night for like the rest of my pregnancy that was going on from that time. He made me happy, and it was the best. My baby's dad actually started noticing that I didn't beg him anymore. I was happier, and I felt like he knew, and he wanted to not like come back in my life, but he was just more like there, and I didn't want him there anymore because I was happy with this guy. Well, the day of my daughter's birth, I went in, I was talking to this other guy I busted an all-nighter that night. We were talking on the phone till like 3 in the morning, and during our phone call, I was actually like, ugh, my back's hurting, like, ouch, whatever, and I would move and it would get better. And he was like joking around. He's like, oh my god, imagine if you have her now. Like, imagine like tomorrow you have her. And I'm just like, don't say that. I'm not ready. Like, I'm scared. Well, we ended up hanging up from the phone. And about 10 minutes later, I started getting contractions so bad. Like, ugh. It was horrible. Well, I ended up going to the emergency room like at 4, like almost 5 in the morning. And I was calling my baby's dad and he wouldn't answer. I called his mom and his mom swore like she knew everything. And she was like, oh, it's gonna be a long time from now. It's like, yeah, I went in like at 4, almost 5 in the morning, and she was born by 7 in the morning, and a healthy, beautiful baby girl, and I did it without him. And he ended up going to the hospital until like when he woke up, like around 11, 12, and 11 in the morning, 12 in the afternoon, around there. He ended up going to visit me, and that day, for him being on his stupid phone, he actually almost dropped her. He's just an idiot overall. I don't even know why I cried for him. Well, he would see my phone that I was texting this other guy, and me and the other guy would call each other babe because he just was something special. And he would kind of like laugh, and he'll be like, babe, okay. Like, he didn't think it was going to be anything. Well, now I am happily in the best relationship with the man I love the most, which was the same man who changed my life for the better when I was pregnant with my daughter Aaliyah. She is now 3 years old, and she is a beautiful baby girl, and I am now married with this wonderful man. And I am now expecting my second child, and it's probably the best thing that has ever happened to me is not taking him for granted this time. He is the best that I could have ever gotten, and I appreciate him for everything he has done and is still doing for us. Alright guys, so this is my 16 and pregnant story. It's probably a little too long or whatever, but it goes from the stormiest time of my life, and now I'm at the best time of my life, and I couldn't be any happier than to be with the man that I love, and the man that loves me back and loves my daughter. A man who raises a child is worth more than a man who just makes the child, because this guy has done everything for us, and I love my husband very, very much, and my daughter, and my new baby coming on the way, which is also a girl. So yeah, hopefully I'll be making more videos. I do want to make more videos. I want to make this like my priority. I'm always watching YouTube videos, so I was just like, okay, might as well just make my own. I'm always on here. So yeah, that's what I want to be doing. Hopefully I get some of you guys to follow me on my crazy new life that's coming up. Yeah. So hopefully you guys like and subscribe and comment and let me know what you guys would like to see, because I'm open to anything. And okay guys, so bye, see you next time.